Welcome to the channel True Interest. Maxim Max Alexandrovich Chmerkovskiy is a Ukrainian-American choreographer, instructor, and Latin ballrooms dance champion. He is best known as one of the professional dancers on the American television show Dancing with the Stars, where he debuted in Season 2. Chmerkovskiy made it to the final round 5 times in his 17 seasons as a competing pro on the show, finishing as runner-up twice and third twice. In today's video, we are showing you how he got arrested, and confusion was created amidst the chaos in Ukraine. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss out on more videos we post. Maxim Chmerkovskiy's most recent video update from Ukraine revealed that he had been arrested during Russia's attacks. During the Monday, February 28th update, the 42-year-old choreographer didn't reveal many details about his arrest, but he did say that it was a serious wake-up call for him amid the panic. He also updated us on the whereabouts of some of his friends and his plans to leave the country. While Max stated that he was all right after his arrest, it was undoubtedly a frightening experience amid the country's battles with Russia. "There's a lot of fighting going on everywhere. The streets are insane. I was arrested at one point," he said in the video. "That was probably the least traumatic moment in this whole thing for Ukraine, but it was just a reality check for me. Whatever it was and how it was a crazy reality check." The DWTS contestant also stated that he was not ready to discuss the experience further. "There's a lot to unpack, and as I previously stated, I'm not in the mental state to do so right now. I'm only joking and I'm trying to focus." Max told fans that he was planning his escape from Ukraine after revealing that he had been arrested. "I'm going to try to get closer to the border. I have choices. Unfortunately, my options are superior to those of the majority of people. To be honest, I'm a little nervous, but I think everything will be fine. Well, I know it's going to be okay," he said, before warning that he might go radio silent for a while as he escaped, saying he mostly communicated with his brother, parents, and wife, Peter Murgatroyd. "Just don't freak out if I kind of disappear for a minute," he explained. "If you're following this to see how I'm doing, please don't be concerned if I disappear for a little while. I'll do everything in my power to keep you informed." Max provided updates on friends he'd mentioned in previous clips earlier in the video. He claimed to have friends who were still on their way out of Ukraine and into Poland. While it was frightening, he was also impressed by the number of volunteers and people who are assisting Ukrainians in escaping and those who have stood up to defend their country. He also concluded the video by chastising anyone who treats those fleeing inhumanely at borders. "It is inhumane and wrong. People are fleeing the conflict, the war. Treat everyone the same," he concluded before signing off. Russia's invasion of Ukraine will surely have global and domestic economic ramifications, increasing roiling commodity markets, uncertainty, and potentially driving up inflation as global gas as well as increase in food prices. Russia is a primary producer of both natural and oil gas, and the geopolitical conflict has driven up prices recently. It is also known as a well-known exporter of wheat globally and a massive food supplier to Europe. The U.S. imports relatively little or somehow directly from Russia. Still, a crunch in commodities caused by a conflict could have some severe effects that might temporarily raise prices for both finished goods as well as raw materials when much of the globe, including the U.S., is experiencing a high inflation rate. Global unrest may also frighten consumers of America, prompting them to reduce their spending as well as other economic activity. If the slowdown worsens, the Federal Reserve, which plans to increase the interest rates in March, may struggle to decide how rapidly and aggressively to raise borrowing costs. Geopolitical risks, central bankers, also recognized in minutes from the recent meeting, could increase the global energy prices as well as exacerbate global supply shortages. Still, they were also a risk to the outlook for growth. The magnitude of the potential economic fallout is still not known. Still, a foreign conflict will further delay the normal time to return after the coronavirus pandemic has surpassed both the U.S. as well as the U.S. economies for the past 2 years. Consumers in the U.S. are already dealing with rapidly rising prices. Businesses attempt to navigate tangled supply chains, and people report feeling pessimistic about their financial prospects despite strong economic growth. "Economic uncertainty will rise, which will be bad for households and businesses," said Maurice Obstfeld, a senior fellow at the Peterson Institute for International Economics. He predicted that the impact would be felt most acutely in Europe and to a lesser extent in the U.S. A major and immediate economic impact of a conflict in Eastern Europe is related to oil and gas. Russia produces 10 million barrels of oil per day, or about 10% of global demand. It is Europe's largest natural gas supplier, which is used to power plants and heat homes and businesses. So this is all about his arrest amidst Ukraine and Russian war chaos. What do you think of his arrest? Let us know your views on the war scenario of both countries in the comments below.